Well, they call it the mighty Mississippi for a reason. Beyond being a great place to fish or kayak or just to look at, it's also an important part of our economy in the Midwest, with boats and barges carrying 175 million tons of freight on that river each year. But right now, river levels are lower, and people Sammy talked to said it's harder to get stuff because of that from point A to point B.
Fishermen along the Mississippi have more land lately to cast their line.
I do better when it's more water.
Leonard Thomas has fished at this spot in Coon Rapids for years.
Basically where those guys are, that's usually covered.
Kayakers over the weekend in Clearwater noticed more bumps in their ride.
Two spots got shallow like this where we got hung up on rocks a little bit.
Clearly, water levels north of the Twin Cities are low, but the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, they said that they haven't seen too many transportation issues within the state.
Right now, we are in good a shape as we can be.
Dan Foshing is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers St. Paul District Water Manager for the Upper Mississippi River.
Right now, we're in a low flow level, but as you can see, there's still water in the river, and that is in large part due to our lock and dam navigation mission.
He says the series of locks and dams is why Minnesota's portion of the Mississippi is moving along.
As you go down south past St. Louis, the geomorphology of the river changes. It starts to spread out. So it makes it a little more difficult, but also they don't have continued navigation locks, and so they rely solely on the other half, which is dredging efforts.
So it's not always smooth sailing for Minnesota's farmers.
A lot of soybeans loaded in Minnesota and in other states throughout the Midwest are loaded into barges, and then they make this lengthy journey down to export terminals in the New Orleans, Louisiana area.
Mike Steenhoek is the executive director for the Soy Transportation Coalition. He represents 14 organizations, including one in Minnesota.
A problem down there results in a problem up here. And it's just being a part of that really dynamic supply chain that we have.
He says barges have to carry lighter loads, and there are less of them on the river.
That presents a massive challenge.
Jake Hanley is a senior portfolio strategist for Teucrium Trading. He monitors and tracks prices of agricultural goods.
Because you need more barges and there's a limited supply, that pushes up the barge rates. So barges become more expensive to get downriver, and ultimately that eats into farmer profitability.
Foshing says there's not too much Minnesota can do to help.
We don't have any extra water stored, at least until winter comes around and we get some more snow, or if we get some extra rain.
He hopes wetter weather will interrupt the flow downstream. Sammy Solina, KARE 11 News.
The interesting perspective, big effects of this drought. Transportation and ag companies describe this as kind of a horror movie sequel because they dealt with severe drought along the Mississippi last fall.